This is Justin AMZN on Tuesday, June 12th, 2018, taking a look at the pre-market on Amazon. And it looked like we were just kind of grinding higher, rallying pre-market, looking like we would open up here, and then this candle came in right before the open. Hang on just a sec, I have to take care of something. Okay, I'm back. I had just started the video and glanced down at my mouse, and there was a spider that had just popped up on the table I'm at. And I'm like, well, we got to take care of that. Anyway, now we can get into how the day opened up. So with this selling here, it's, pretty strong indication that, okay, we could continue lower. This is just trapping everybody pre-market. We had started to sell off here. Now it looks like we're going to open, like a retesting of this value and, this triangle from all of yesterday breaking down. And okay, we're just going to roll over here. And the very first candle is a rally candle. The open and the low were the same. So it's a shaved bottom. It's almost Barbozu. It's got great volume. It's like, okay, great. We're going higher. It's very clear. Complete opposite of the previous candle before the open. And a lot of people bought. It's not an all-time high. You could have been buying here, with yesterday being a pause and continuing up, and just a typical opening gap where it gaps up slightly from the previous day. And, could have been buying at the open. You're still above, the levels from the downtrend. That's what this is over here. Let's go back over here. So we're still above these levels, the 1690s, low 1690s. And then, oops, too far. There we go. So very strong candle. We go right into an indecision candle. Another, one that throws an upper wick. Okay, good. We're getting a little bit of a pullback, a little bit of rest. It'd be great if it comes down all the way into this level and then holds right there, because that'd be, just like this wick did. Maybe some people were buying on that wick looking for it to just go. But this looks like it needs more of an S curve, give it a little bit longer, even if it comes, rolling right on back down here to low 1690s. Let's look for a couple small candles. So it's still coming down. That's an interesting candle, that there's nothing happening on that candle. I don't know if that's a data issue, but the volume says 400 shares. In a single 5-minute period, there's 400 shares of volume. And the one previous, there were 23,000, and the one after, 12,000. So 400 shares that entire 5 minutes. I don't know. I just don't know if that's real or not. It can happen, but it's just really unusual to see that candle like that. That's kind of pre-market information. Yeah, see, only a couple hundred. Anyway, so this is a nice little bullish move, or bullish candle. You got a nice retest. You got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30-ish minutes of selling. And, it could just reverse here. This could be the bounce. We really want to get it above, well, you know what? It did come down to this level. So very well could do that. But because it's so quick, if you got in, my stop's got to be way down here. I'm not going to just get in here with a stop a couple dollars away. I'm going to get in under this support here. So the port we're looking at is the 1691 open. So you could have gotten in at, 1694 by 1691-ish, maybe a couple cents more, or even 1690. Be a little more conservative. So that's probably a $4 risk. You're going to look for a move up into 1702. 1702 for 2R. And it looked like it was going to move a little bit higher. Didn't. Comes back down. If you're in, you're down a little bit. That's okay. You're still holding that low. This is nice. We got now 20 minutes of sideways. This is a great stair-step consolidation. You could almost at this point raise your stop from here to here, because if it comes down, it doesn't have to hold this value. There's plenty of selling in this area. Or you want to wait to see, okay, is this really going to break out? You've been in this for 35 minutes, you're down a little bit, or if you got it in there, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40 minutes. I've been in it for 40 minutes. Stop down here. So whatever your plan is to say when to move the stop. If you're not in, this is a great stair step to set up a trade 1694.50 by 1690 down in here, and a little bit different risk reward. Or you could go aggressive and go 1694.50 by 1692, or a few cents less. So only a couple dollars risk. We are forming a squeeze. There's a higher high that looks like it's breaking out, but if you would just set up a trigger, you're probably in. If you set up like a close trigger that it would have to close above this price, then you're not in. So some people may have been in on that, and this is the candle that everyone should be in on. This candle moving up, it's it's looking like it's breaking out of this stair step with that larger candle. That's not necessarily the volume. Continuing up. Okay, if my stop was here, it's definitely up here. Maybe even here because of that breakout and a little retest. Maybe even here if I'm aggressive, lock in a little bit of gain. And this just kind of grinds up. And then this is the first place we see a little bit of a selling, a little bit of, let's see what the highs are. Oops. High there is 1690.37, and the next one is 1690.38. Okay, so almost tweezer tops. This is a much larger bearish candle than this bullish one. We're right at a point that, we had some selling earlier in the day. There could be some selling here. At least come down to, this 1695. So that'd be like a 1-to-1 maybe. Or all the way back down here, that'd be a great move too. So step forward and see it does pull back. And now my eyes are kind of catching this uptrend angle from the pre-market all the way into the day, and maybe a matching slope down. So I'm going to look for this to rally only up into like 1697, maybe 1698, because it looks like it's consolidating. So, okay, oh, 1697 at that, and then this came down a little bit further. So I guess that makes a little more sense. A little bit lower here than this, but that's not too far off, and I should have drawn it in. So anyway, let's see if we can draw this in real quick and see. Okay, if we went from here up to here, and then from here, oops, down to here, and we don't know which way it's going to go. We just know that it's consolidating. And it's not the very end of the day, so there's some opportunities for it to move a little bit. There you go, like that. So right again, you're at a resistance, we're just at a support. See what happens with this bouncing around in here. You got this as added support or target, very first target to shave some off here. And step a few more candles and see that it did end up breaking down. So it broke down, but it did it after 20 minutes of bearish candles, so 25 now. Really want to see that retest. It's not retesting. Okay, it comes down here. This is similar to yesterday's closing consolidation here. This is giving us a little retest up into 1695, 1696. And also, it didn't take out this low or this low. So those are my next targets if you're in bearish. Maybe some people sold here because you're right in that line. And we're just going to take profit right here. I mean, that's enough of a trade, a couple bucks, probably with the shares, but could do something with options. It's possible, but it helps to have a larger move. So get a little bit of a stair step here, and a gray candle here saying, hey, I'm totally ready to go bearish, and it just kind of goes on sideways again. Okay, and then breaks down. Now we're at this previous low in here. We're at the lows of these candles. And it's only a little further down to this low. But all the while, we're still up on the day because of where the open was. All this is a bullish candle. Looks like you got a nice upper wick, and you want to see it hold, this value and send it back up to this value. So on the next candle, get a bullish engulfing, and then we start to go up a little bit more. Retest, pull back. Okay, there we go. We're rallying into close. This looks like a double bottom, and where's the neckline? And I think we're just about at time for the day. Yeah, so that's it for the day. So let me zoom back out so you can see just the size of these distributions here. This one, and we had this bigger one a couple days ago. So which one are you gonna say, hey, you know, let's go check that out and see how it's gonna work for what we're doing now? Probably this one. We can draw a similar uptrend line here and here and see, you know, how well it tracks that, but that's a smaller range. It's going to be totally dependent on where you have, or if you have the extended hours turned on, if that affects the trend, or well, my eyes are kind of naturally gravitating towards this upward channel, something like this, like that. Because you got some touches here, not quite here again, and here. So you're right up into that on the aftermarket hours too. So that's what my eyes gravitate towards. Doesn't have to happen that way. It could move a lot further either direction. But this is our framework for setting up these trades, and you know, we've definitely got the inverted head and shoulder we were talking about. Sort of a neckline here, the neck. Or shoulder, neck, shoulder, or shoulder. Yeah, this is where it gets a little funny because it's just sideways consolidating up. So we'll see if that continues. If it just consolidates up, if it has some smaller moves. Similar to here, there were just people getting out, trapped, whatever, who were shorting, and it kept going up. Now they're finally saying, okay, fine, I'll buy, and then this is the wrong time to buy. So you know, it just kind of has reversed this sell-off and now this small rally. Back over on the daily, we've put in 10 daily candles with after the squeeze. This last one, it made higher highs up into this candle here, and that was 13 days after the squeeze, after the last red dot for the squeeze. And this one we're at 10, so it very well could go a few candles higher. This is so bullish. There's this many in a row. It just paused sideways, and now it looks like there's another smaller S curve. And so, obviously, we'll definitely keep our eye on what that's doing. If we come back in here on the 5 minute, we can see that, okay, here's your stair step. You know, maybe you were in already off of that setup. So let's say you got in, let's say the worst possible time in this candle. So this candle is at 9:45. We switch over to the call, and 9:45 right here. So let's say you bought at 9:35. So the 9:45 time, the worst price you could have gotten is 9:35, and that rallied up into what was that, about 10.50? So that's not enough. Went sideways, rallied up a little bit more, and didn't really go too far. So, but if you're making some money, get out and you know, lock in a little bit of gain because you have it, and then the rest of the day we can see it just kind of grinded. Maybe here, this being evening star reversal, let's say you got in on this candle at 13.10. So now we're looking at the 1700 put expiring today, and at 13.10 is this one. Oops, this one. And the price is around, let's say 12.25 on the price of that, and that rallied. So 12.25 all the way up to, you know, 15. That's a few R. So that would have been a nice trade bearish here, knowing to short the or buy the put or short the stock at a similar low here and here. And you can see kind of the false breakdown as well. Just looking at the options. So this just ran down. It just, you know, just moved quickly from this evening star reversal. Kind of paused here because you had the uptrend line, and then just continued and just plummeted. So the other stair step here looks like it's going to break down. Looks like it's going to continue going further down for the next, you know, hour or so, and instead out of here it rallies up and some nice closing candles, much higher volume than pretty much all day except the very open, and just seeing some other stuff kind of pop in, double bottom here, some indecision here, and yeah, just interesting to see how the chart actually played out today with, this being the longer term move. Longer term, it's still 5 minute. A flag and now continuation. This doesn't really have to stop. A few more candles bullish is probably all it'll get. There'll be some people who lock in, maybe lock in again at 1700 or something. So anyway, it was a challenge to trade the options. You would have had to have some foresight to say, hey, that looks like it's pausing, get in bullish, or wait so much that, okay, it looks like everyone's getting stopped out of this. What's going to happen? Or stopped out, I mean, if you had bought at any of the previous levels a put and maybe made money here, but if you tried to do it again, you didn't get much and it stopped you out. And this one would have actually stopped you out, pulling back some below this level if you had to move your stop up. But this is another case to say, hey, if it worked, or if this is what we're looking for, here's the setup, get in and go and get ready to just take profits. So that's some of what's going on here, and stay tuned for more on what we think, what Just Amazon thinks will happen to this uptrend. So we'll let this play out and check out it. But this is the move we're seeing, is that, hey, there's some selling. Well, we'll just gap up and consolidate, and gap up and consolidate. This consolidation yesterday looks much cleaner than this one today right now. So that's interesting to see too, just how it's actually moving in here, and if it's putting in any sort of pattern with the way it looks with the candles. Yeah, we'll continue to look at that. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Justin Amazon. Thank you.